Welcome to another boat video. We're back down here, hopefully get a few more of these bits ticked off the list. I've not been down here the last day or so. G's been down here doing a couple of bits. I've not been able to make it down, but I'm back down here today, so I'm going to have a little look, see what G's been doing, and then we'll look at what's been finished off now. So on the last video, I was saying about this switch panel we got with all the extra switches on it. So all G done was put that up against it, draw a line around it, and then just literally a couple of mil inside, cut that little square out, and he's pushed that in and he's screwed it in. So that's that side of it. Then on the inside of it, look, we've got the step back down, floors down. Obviously they've still got to do a bit of sealing around the edges, get lino down. Our curtains are back up. We've got curtains back up. Now on the inside, as I was saying on the video the other day, that is our old fuse board, the one up there with all the old fuses in. So what G has done is, we've got a new fuse board there, and we've got our new switch controllers there. So we are now going to be taking all the wires that came out of there, which have been cut and snipped off of there, and as he cut them one by one, he wrote labels on them. So the one that was up there that had right hand wiper, that's on there, so that's ready to go into our new fuse board. We've got the nav lights, what's that, the sink pump, left wiper. So everything that was going into that old fuse board, they've all been, as they were snipped, it was written down what they were, snip 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 snip. They've all been connected to the wires, and these are now going to go into our new fuse box. And we've also got the other switches on here. That's the back of that switch panel he put in, so they're going to be getting connected up as well. And then that is a much better way of having it, as opposed to connected to that old fuse board. That's well predated, that one. So yes, I think that's the plan today, get a few of these sorted out and start getting these wired up. Right, so we're starting to make a start. So this one here, for example, the toilet gauge, that doesn't have a switch. As soon as the batteries are on, the ignition's on, that just runs live. So we've gone straight into the negative, straight into the positive. This one here is the gas safety valve. Again, it doesn't have a switch to switch it on and off. So this will go negative, straight into a negative, and it will go positive, straight into a positive. It doesn't have a switch, so they're fine. This one that G's now doing here, that's the front lights. So the front lights run off the switch that's up there. So when we put the positive in there, it's then got another wire coming out of there that runs up to where the original switch is. So when we rewire it into the switch and you switch that switch on, it'll come down into the positive, fuse it, and then off to the lights. So like that, for example. So that's the live feed coming in that's going to power it, and then we have a feed coming out, and the feed that's coming out is what's going to run back up to that switch up there. So anything that hasn't got a switch can go straight into the fuse board. Anything that's got a switch, we've got to have a wire that comes in and a wire going out, which takes it to the switch. So some of the things we've got, like the horn, the nav lights, etc., are all switched up on there. The new ones we're putting in that doesn't have a switch on the steering column, that's what we're putting into this new switch bank we put in there. So yeah, a little bit fiddly, but we will get there.
Red.
Right, starting to get a few of his wires. I know, looking at this, looking at that, it's looking like an absolute mess at the moment. But once the wires are all done, like I say, we're going to, we've got trunking and all that to go on there to keep them all in line. So this one G's putting on now, this is our main power source coming in. So this is what powers this box up. So one or two of them we've done, don't even need switches. So they're literally just powered up straight on that, so they'll become live straight away. One or two of them are on the switches that were next to the steering column. So the wipers, for example, we've taken out of there and we've put in the back there. Our stereo we've connected up, it's going to come out of the new box. So I'm going to put a sticker on there in a second. So this is the steering wheel ones. So we've got two wired up at the moment. One is for the wipers, and one is for the front lights. The wipers, they had separately. They had a front wiper and a left wiper. Yeah, left, right, all separate switches. We've put them both together, and we've just gone off. So when you pull the wipers on, wipers go together as opposed to individual. We don't need a left wiper and a wiper. We just have them both on at the same time. The stereo is now gone onto that one there, which says accessory. So I need to take that one off, and then that'll be the stereo. The idea of that is because the stereo kind of stays on standby the whole time, and we don't want anything on standby to be draining the batteries. So until we switch that switch on, then the stereo will be on standby. Then we can turn the car stereo on and we'll have our music. When we finish with the car stereo, obviously we'll turn that off, and then the car stereo is not on standby. If it's on standby and it's just got like the backlight on it, anything that's on standby, if you've got 3-4 things that are just on standby, they're going to start draining the batteries, aren't they? So anything that's on a standby mode, we're going to have straight on and off switch. So you've got to turn them on for to use them. Right, I want to get that sticker off. I want to put a stereo sticker on there so we know that's a stereo. G's just putting that live mains into it now and the live earth. So the couple we have done, I think we're just going to test now, just to make sure we have got power going to where it should be going and it's working before we do any more of them. So like I say, I know it looks a complete mess in here, but by the time they're all pinned down, by the time the trunking's on, it will neaten everything up. And there's no way we could use that old fuse board. We've got so many, like our lights we've put on, we've got 2 lights going on there on the top where they had 1 before. The horn obviously is a lot more powerful, so that tripped the fuse. So by putting the new fuse board on there, we've got better fuses on there. It's, I mean, just updating the boat in it. It's just bringing it all up to date.
Start.
Oh, right, so we're trying these switches out. Right, we've hit a snag, not really a snag, but obviously these are on switches. The way we done it, it was wired continuously to our new live. So as soon as we turn the battery on, without even turning the switch on, the wipers come on and the front lights come on. So how we've got to do it is, we've got to put, say it's the front lights, one side of the front light in there, and then we've got to take the front light from that side down to our new fuse board. Try to explain it better. So what we've got, say this one here for example, this is the fan, that's not on the switch, but just say it's on the switch. Say we got the fan. So what we done is we had it going into the new fuse board and there, and the wire from there going to the switch. Well, that is giving a live feed to the switch constantly. So what we've got to do is take these wires to the switch. That live goes in one side of the switch, and then we have to run a new live out of the switch to that fuse board. And then obviously we're left with the negative. So what we're thinking is, once we've gotten all the 5 switches and we've got 5 negative wires up that end, put all the 5 negatives into one of them, and then run one out the other side and put it straight into there. So I think that is what we've got to do. So yeah, take the live in, put the live in, live out to there, and then run all the negatives down in one. Oh, electrics. I bet that guy's laughing at us again, man. The guy commented on my electric skills, I bet he's laughing again. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to have to do it. The ones that are constant live don't matter. We've got a few in here that haven't got switches, if you know what I mean. What we put in here, for example, like the gas safety valve, don't have a switch, so that can be connected up the whole time. The toilet gauge doesn't have a switch, so that can go in there, that can be connected live the whole time. But anything that's got a switch on it, we have to go into the switch, out of the switch, into there. And then obviously then the negatives got to go on there, but we're going to run all the negatives, down together. That's the plan. But yeah, right, so we're starting to make a bit of headway with this now. So what we've done is just take that out because that's holding that up there. Right, so all these cables now coming through. So the wipers, we've got the live coming in, the nav lights, the anchor lights, the front lights, the fan, all coming in. Then all we've got to do is take one out and put that in our new fuse board. So it comes in one side of the switch, out the other side of the switch, and into the fuse board, and they then work on the switches. And then the negatives we're going to put in one block and run all the negatives down in one go. So yeah, obviously because we're going straight into the fuse board, which is live, but obviously there's no point in live coming to a switch because the switch ain't going to work because it's already hit the live before it's got to the switch. So yeah, we got to come in the switch, out the switch, and then yeah, well we're getting there. So yeah, so it's just a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 of them. We just got to connect red, take them down to our new fuse board. The negatives, which is just on the other side in there, they're all going to run down in one go to the new fuse board. Right. We love electrics, don't we? We love it. Right, here we are, back down the boat again. When I was down here with G the other day, we was working on the electrics. We was getting that new fuse board in. We was getting that wired up. G come down yesterday, done a bit more work on that fuse board. I'll show you that in a second. One of the things we want to do as well, where this boat is moored up on the side, we've only got a couple of these little like buoys on the side. So we picked up some old tyres, and our plan is, G put one on yesterday. He screwed a tyre to the side, so when the boat comes up, he's actually got cushioning against the side as opposed to like hitting against this brickwork and the woodwork down there. So I think that's going to be the number one job for this morning. While the tide's out and the water's all the way down there, that gives us access to get some of these tyres, and we can get these attached to the side, and that gives a nice bit of cushioning. So I think that is job number one for today.
Lift that one over that one. Get that.
What's that tied round? Alright, mind your head. It's tied on. Right, let me put this camera down. I'm going to untie the tyre. Right, let's untie this and we'll about to start getting these attached.
Just have to bang onto it.
So our plan is, we put a tyre on top of the tyre that G attached to the wall yesterday, and then we're going to put another tyre underneath it, because if the boat comes up and gets caught underneath the tyre, it's going to tilt as the tide brings it up. Right. So we're going to go three down with the tyres.
Where Richard's boat is, right, there's all tyres. If you can, bring 2. Not the big ones, just the little ones.
So that is the plan.
Right, one. Screw that right there, look. Easy. I'm just going to go into there. Into there. Maybe another one. Yeah. So I might do a couple in there.
Yeah, you got to put another one against the back as well, against that upright.
Yeah. Give me. You got one of them? No? Oh, one here, that. Yeah, that do. No, just got to do that in now.
Right, so that's our tyres all done. So we've got a nice bit of cushioning against the side. Well, what we've got to do now is check this rail. So where this rail is here, and it connects to the boat, there's a little crack in it, and we've got water running inside when it chucks it down in rain. On the inside of the boat where we painted, you can see a little line coming down. So we're hoping it's easy enough just to undo these bolts.
Well.
But we're hoping whatever's holding it underneath don't fall through. We're hoping it's fixed to the underside of the boat. And then we've got some clear silicone to put in there. Fill the gap in where it's cracked. And then screw it back down. But what are them bolts saying on the underside? Are they flat?
Yeah, no.
They're flat, so there's going to be nuts underneath.
Nuts underneath, isn't it?
But we're hoping the nuts are...
Right, I've got to get in there and have a look then.
In the fiberglass.
Fuck.
Actually secured. Otherwise when you undo them, the nuts can drop obviously through the hole, innit? Through the hollow bit. But when we was in there the other day, we couldn't actually see any access points to get in that side bit to check what's underneath these. I've got a feeling that they're held in place. I've got a feeling on the underside of that, them actual bolts are held actually in place, and the screws just go straight, the nuts just go straight through them. But we've definitely got to seal it, because I'll show you when I get inside the boat in a minute. You can see a little line coming down the side where water's getting in, so it definitely needs to be sealed. Right, let's just show you what we're looking at on the inside. Oh, look, it's looking a lot fresher in there. G mounted this yesterday. This is our onboard compass. It's all accurate, it shows you how we're wobbling. It needs wiring up though, we need to wire that up. So in here, look, right there, we've got a water streak mark coming in, which is right under that rail that's there. That rail he's working on, there's water getting in underneath that, and you can see it trickling. Look, it's just slightly water staining that. Yeah, so G the other day got quite a lot of these electrics done. Right, we got to the stage last time I was showing you guys, we was taking the wires to one side of the switch, coming out of the other side of the switch, and coming down to the live. So everything, so just say like the nav lights, we've got in the nav light switch, out the nav light switch, into the new fuse box. We've sticked them all up as well. So we've got the water pump, the wipers, the roof lights, accessories, fan overdrive, nav lights, anchor light, the horn, everything is all in there now. Everything is all wired to that. That new one that G bought with the switches, so the one for the stereo, that stereo we got, that's on its own separate switch. What else can I see coming out of there? There's one or two coming out of there now, so he's put something else on there as well. But that is a lot better than having that old fuse box, that fuse board that was in there. That was well predated. Well predated. So now, everything there should all be good. And like I say, we've got like a bit of coax in there, a bit of cover, so most of the cables are all run up inside there. He's pinned them all down so they look a bit neat and tidier. So everything now is on a switch. Also, he's put these in. Obviously batteries ain't on, so they're not going to work, but look, we've got a little light there and we've got a little light there. So I wasn't here for this, but I'm guessing he's took these little caps off, unscrewed this and dropped this centre plate down, and obviously got wire, so they got to be coming off a switch. They're probably off of our new switch bank, I should imagine. What we got? Stereo area, anything up there, cabin lights. So that one there, that cabin lights, that's wired up to them now. That's wired up to them too. Like I say, just one day I didn't get down here. Right, what are we thinking about that rail then, G? What are we thinking about that rail then? Them screws ain't coming out.
Right, I don't want to round them off.
Right.
Just got to caution what we're going to do is take away all the silicone around it.
Right.
Not today.
Yeah.
Dried and warm.
And they'll just re-silicone it.
Silicone around it.
So we're trying to get them screws out, but them screws have been in since 1979. And they are in solid. And we don't want to risk rounding the top of the screws off. We tried the electric driver, we tried normal drivers, they're just, one come out and the other two are just absolutely seized. So what he's saying is now is we can get a little driver, pick it out all from around the edge, and then just re-silicone it as best we can from the outside. That's all I think we can do on that. That is all we can do. Look, all this has been painted. I'm guessing Tina's been down there. Look, she's had all this hatch painted. Well, we are getting there. We've got the vents these to go on at some point. They're the ones he sprayed up white. They're going to look quite decent against the blue door when they're on there. They're going to look pretty decent. Right, let's see what job is next on the list. Right, another little job done. That looks so much better, doesn't it? This blue, I'll tell you what, G, we went with G when he chose this blue. He was out on his own when he done this, but he's picked a nice blue, man. It goes nice against that. I think it goes nice against the white. And I say, sort of matches the curtains as well, doesn't it? The curtains is that dark blue colour. But that looks nice and fresh now, doesn't it? Look, the vents, white vents against the blue door. And I've done the ones on the outside as well. I've just done these ones. Oh, looks good, doesn't it? Little bit of touch up on there need doing. I think G was saying as well, we got a, oh no, that's alright. What do we have there? We had a little sign up there when we first took the boat. But yeah, look, a little bit of wood coming through. Still do a little touch up here and there. But, oh mate, so much fresher.
Okay.
Right, while we've got this engine running, we'll show you what we've got done. So horns all working. If we switch the stereo on, and cabin lights, are them ones?
Yeah, but you need to put it on inside though. Solid lights on.
So we turn all these switches on, and we come in here. Cabin lights working. Cabin lights working.
There we go, just put this to face.
We turn the stereo switch on.
Sounds turned up.
Any station to do, just to show you the fine sound on it. That'll do, any station to do, just show that it's all working. That's all coming out. We've got a bit of classical music. Right, we'll go on top, we'll show our lights on top all working now. That's it, everything's all working electrically now. We'll jump up on here. Right, so our lights on at the back there. Got the nav light on, anchor light. Do the anchor light, G. Anchor lights on. Front lights are all on. Horns all working. That's it, electric side, I think. Electric side, I think we're all done. Get in there, get in there. Right, this is the first time we've had this boat started in a couple of weeks. So we're planning to take it down the river. Not going to go far, we're just literally going to spin it around there, take it down the river. Just give it a little just give it a little trial run. We're going to untie it, we're going to turn it around, just take it on the river, bring it back down. We've had the engine started a couple of times, but we haven't actually had it like working and using and going now. So yeah, we're just going to give it a little test drive. Yes, Dave. Oh yeah. Go on, push the move.
Oh, he's going around it fast, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think you meant to keep pressing that like that, mate.
Yeah.
It's fine round there, isn't it? Well, it seems to be running alright at the moment, doesn't it? Seems to be doing alright.
Yeah, boy.
Can't wait to be taking that properly, though.
Oh, that's nice coming through there.
Yeah, that's a nice breeze, that breeze. So when that breeze blows through the boat, it takes
Woo!
Right, that's it, we're back, we're all moored up. So that was a good little run then. It needed that little run, I tell you, because where we've done all the gaskets, like the engine ain't got a temperature or nothing, so it's bedded everything in. Engine is still slightly missing a little bit. We were saying on the other video about getting a mechanic guy behind to have a look at doing the timing. And we think the timing he's doing, the engine is like boom, 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 boom. It just every now and then just slightly missing. So we're going to have a bit of a quick tidy up in here now, start sorting a few bits out. We got some lights to go where that seating is on the bottom there.
Pass it to Jordan.
We've got some little blue LED light things to go in there, so we're going to wire them up, get them connected.
Any key,
And I think there was another little job we were going to get done. So, right, let's get the next job done.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right there. There, so I put that down here. Yeah. Obviously that one goes in there, but I've got to run the wires first. Right, where's the next one, Harry? So if we go 10 from this way.
10 from the corner in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold that, Harry.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, about that, yeah?
Yep.
Hold that, Harry. Just hold it there so I can get this here. Yeah. I need to cut. Pin that down there.
What we've done, we just drilled through there, which has brought us out in here. So I've pulled the 2 wires through. So we've got the red to go to our live on a switch, and we've got black to go to the earth. And we'll probably go behind that, and then we can tack.
No, they're too tight.
Tack the wire along.
They've got a cut on it.
Right, so that's the live coming in. That's the live coming out, that's the live coming out. So that's the negative. That's the negative. Two negatives together in there. Tighten that up. Right, that's that. Get that negative going to there. That live going to there. That's the first one. That's the first one wired up. Right, and that was an easy one because I've got the access hatch there. On this one, them cables are only going to come down as far as there. So I don't know whether to... I might put a crimp on them cables so they hang down further. That's going to be my best option, I think. Snip it, snip it. Crimp it. I think that's my best option. Right. Lights are all in, let's have a little test. See how they're looking. Oh, look at that. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll tell you what, at night that's going to look nice shining across the deck in there. Look at that. Another job done. Another one ticked off. And that's what switch is that? That's on.
That's on strobe lights.
Strobe lights. That's alright though, isn't it? We know what it is.
Oh.
Sorted.
On the back. All on the back, mate. Ah, shit, I mean, Jordan.
Right, that is it. These lights are now done. We're going to call it a day now. We've got quite a few things done, quite a few things ticked off the list. So we're going to start bringing everything back in the boat, getting the boat all secured down. I want to go through this footage when I get home. If there's enough on here, if there's half hour or so, I'll upload this and do a video. If there's not half hour, then I'll continue this on to another one. But I've got a feeling there's going to be about half hour's worth of footage on here. So this will probably be the completion of part 6. So I've got a feeling we will see you when we are back on part 7. But we are definitely getting there, definitely. So many things getting ticked off now.